series today where we're talking about the gift. Jesus is the gift. Somebody say the gift. And we're talking about Jesus as the gift in the form of the table, which is the bread and the wine. And so a lot of us have taken what we call communion. You may call it the Eucharist, whatever name you call it. Jesus is trying to relay a very clear message to us that I don't think the church has been completely capable of capturing. So if I can for this next few moments, let's continue to watch the story. Somebody say the story that Jesus tells us all the way from Genesis to where we're at today. And so today I want to focus on the bread that became a person. How we went from manna to Messiah. Let me give you a few scriptures. Exodus chapter 25, verse 30. And you shall set the bread of the presence before the table before me regularly. If you have a Bible, that's a good word to circle right there. Somebody say regularly. John 6, verse 35. Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst again. Now, I want to read these words slowly to you because the quality of bread is so nil today that when you eat bread, it actually makes you hungrier than when you were before you ate the bread. Your insulin level, I'm just giving you some reality here. Your insulin level will spike, which makes you feel more hungry than when you ate the bread. And so Jesus said, watch this here. He's saying, Jesus said to them, I am, somebody say I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was up there. Here I'm expecting you to guess. So here's what it says. You shall not hunger. Oh, it's there now? Okay. I'm already hungry. Too late. So if the bread is Jesus, and Jesus says, if you eat of it, you won't hunger, right? Whoever believes in me, back to John 4, will never thirst. I'm going to ask you this. What is the quality of the bread you're eating? Good bread satisfies hunger. Cheap bread keeps you hungry. And I'm saying this because I really believe with all my heart that as Americans, we have some of the worst food on the planet. Food that is passed here for us to eat is not accepted in other countries because of the low quality and the danger in the food. And I'm not going to preach today, but man, I feel like preaching. We've got a Christianity today that is so poor in quality. Come on, we get upset and we leave Jesus. We get upset at our brother and we leave the church. We get upset at the church and we walk away. You know what the real problem is? You have no nutrients in your spiritual walk. You keep eating cheap bread and wonder why you're always offended and why you can't feel Jesus. Right? Look at somebody, say, it might be the bread. Jesus said this in John 6:51. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. If anyone eats this bread, he will live forever. And the bread that I will give for the life of the world is my flesh. Luke chapter 22. I just want to get these verses because I'm going to take you in some real practical things today that I believe are going to strengthen your ability to be spiritually nourished. So stay with me. Luke 22:19. And he took the bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it, and he gave it to them, saying, This is my body, which is given to you. Do this in remembrance of me. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple more. Exodus 12:15. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leaven out of your houses. There's not just bread, there's a particular bread. Mark 6:42. And they all ate and were satisfied. Last scripture, Leviticus chapter 24, verses 5-9. Here's a summary. Instruction for the showbread is this. It represented the tribes of Israel before God. So when you see, and I showed you the pictures, we started the series, the bread that was in the inner sanctuary, in the inner place, that bread had 12 stacks, or 12 breads, 2 stacks of 6, representing all of God's children. How many? All of God's children were to be in his presence on a daily basis. Now, this becomes super challenging to us, so I kind of want to share a couple of things with you. So number one is the bread of God's presence. You shall eat the bread of presence before me regularly. So in the tabernacle, somebody say the tabernacle. These 12 pieces of bread were the 12 tribes, always in God's sight. Anybody here raise kids? If you ever raised kids, the most important thing to you was to be able to see them. When my mom could not see me, boy, I was up to no good. I know you were a saint. I know you never did anything wrong. But as soon as I was out of the purview of my parents, I was doing stuff they knew I shouldn't be doing. They never called Elias, my older brother. They never called Lou. If they couldn't see me, they're like, that joker is doing something. I'm so glad that my parents' visual eyesight, awareness of where I am, gave me the protection to do life. Have you ever felt like, God, why don't you see me? God's like, where are you? From the beginning, right? From the beginning. When Adam shifted from the bread to the fruit he shouldn't have eaten, God's first question to him is, Adam, you're not in the tabernacle. You're not in my presence. In other words, Adam, I don't. Tracking with me? It is important that we understand the significance of the bread is that we stay in the vision of the Lord. Somebody say the vision of the Lord. It's not, and you may say, Pastor Eli, but God is everywhere. No. God is everywhere, but by his own word, he constrains himself to the location. Does that make sense? And so like you and I don't have to go to the tabernacle, but we must tabernacle. You don't have to go to the tabernacle, but the tabernacle must be present in your daily living. Somebody say daily living. Now, just bear with me as I bring some religious chaos to the platform today. A lot of Protestants go into Catholic homes and go, oh, that's a candle for the Virgin Mary? And then you go to their front lawn and they got a Virgin Mary like this. And you're like, man, that's a short Mary. She was Mexican. Whatever. We got to get short people that make us feel tall. We look at the Virgin Mary, we look at the altar, and we go, that's such idolatry. And in a Protestant house, you don't see that. But you know what you do see? Seahawks. Oh, I lost you. Where'd you go? Dallas Cowboys. Oh, you have an altar, and you actually worship at that altar. Awful quiet, this great Baptist house today. What we don't need are candles to Mary's, and what we don't need is altars to our favorite team or our man caves, or what do they call the ladies' rooms now? She sheds. Excuse me, she sheds. That's what my dog does. She sheds. Whatever. I'm just saying my dog sheds. Whatever. Sometimes the preacher just says stuff. Pray for me. So we have these things that are imitation for the bread that sustains you. Right? I was just thumbing through Facebook, Pastor Lee, and my Cowboys came up, and right underneath them, the word said, eliminated. Shut up, Mondo. Mondo's like, eliminated. You know, that meant my Cowboys their season is over. They're over. And so all this football season had my hopes up, believing that we were going to get to the Super Bowl, the great game that everybody was just going to watch, the Cowboys, and we got eliminated. Right? You're like, what are you saying? Anything you set up before God will eventually be. It doesn't matter how much you love it. Doesn't matter how much you invest into it. Doesn't matter how much we think we're right. When our way supersedes God's way, and you have altars that in your life that you worship. Maybe some of you are worshiping money. Maybe some of you are worshiping things. Maybe some of you love your house more than you love the kingdom. I'll never have life group people. I don't want strangers in my house. Maybe why did God give you that house? God gave you that house so that you can invite people who are far from Christ to bring them into the presence of. All right, I think you're getting it. Are you getting it? Somebody say the presence of God. So I started asking myself, surely we love the presence of God. Surely. Surely we love to be in God's presence, right? So then I had to ask myself, what is stopping us from being in the presence of God? And so there are a couple of things. I'm going to give you a couple of things. I'm going to read them really quick. What stops us? What are the challenges that keep us from time with God? Number one, busyness and time scarcity. We're too busy, time gets scared. Another thing is distraction, both internal and external. And I'll try to go over some of this as much as I can, but you guys take too much of my time. Motivation and heart level challenges, what's going on inside of us and whatnot. And then so unrealistic expectations and some of the habits that we have formed, right? Then there's cultural and generational shifts. So here are the things that separate us from God. But I want to bring this thought. Have you ever heard the phrase competing priorities? I've just got too many competing priorities. Pastor, I would read, but if I take time and pray and read in the morning, I can't get my breakfast in. That's a competing. Pastor, I want to spend time with God, but then I need an extra hour of sleep. And so you have competing. Pastor, I prayed yesterday and that should be enough. So today I need to catch up on ESPN. We have competing. Are you tracking? I don't know what it is with you. I'm not sure what it is with you. But if you look at, most of us say, man, I have competing. And so some of those priorities come as internal or external distractions. I got my, you open your phone and that thing starts working, whatever the case may be. And that's an external distraction, right? I got to move along. Internal distractions. Many of us have wandering thoughts. We can't focus because our thoughts are all over the place. Not anybody in this building, but some of us deal with guilt. Others are emotionally tired during prayer and Bible reading, which keeps us from engaging. Have you ever talked to your spouse and they can barely keep their eyes open? Makes you want to squeeze a lemon in their eyes. No, I think I got that from Pastor Lee's counseling session. I can't remember. Squeeze lemon in their eye. Oftentimes we are we're so emotionally fatigued that our spouse is trying to share something with us and we can't receive it. Our eyes are open, our ears are there, but we're checked out. And a lot of us read our Bibles this way. We spend time with the Lord this way, and then we go, why isn't this bread sustaining me? Some say competing priorities. All right, and now motivation and heart level stuff. This is so careful because discipline cannot be separated from desire. Discipline cannot be separated from desire. If you want something, if you desire something, your discipline is required for your desire. So you have this heart issue. Somebody say heart issue. I want to be skinny. No, nobody. Only me. Only me. I was watching Desiree's moves. But without desire, or without discipline, desire is just a dream. Okay? Unrealistic expectations. I'm giving you, because I need to deal with competing priorities for a moment. Unrealistic expectations. Pastor, this year, I'm going to read my Bible all the way through 6 times. Joker, you can't read 6 scriptures a day. You're going to try to read it all the way through. So don't set expectations you can't succeed. right? Because then you feel like a failure. And then what happens is we stop doing it. Somebody say, don't stop doing it. And then the other thing is that we don't build the rhythm. So this has to deal with unrealistic expectations. You got to build the rhythm. Did you ever try to get up and do your devotions early in the morning? Right? And you're like this. And here's the conclusion. I'm not a morning person. Let's rewind the clock a little bit. What did you do at 9 o'clock? What did you do at 10 o'clock? What were you doing at 11 and 12 o'clock that kept your time distracted so that when you got up in the morning, you didn't have enough sleep and you thought you're not a morning person? No, you mismanaged your nighttime. Well, I had to catch up, I had to catch up. And my comadre was like, and oh my God, and you just don't even know. And it was a 10-minute, but we talked for 2 hours and we just caught up. Did you catch up? Did you catch up or did you get pulled back? You cannot succeed. I'm trying to tell you, man, Jesus is the bread. Is Jesus not the bread? Okay, so just kind of don't look at me like I'm boring you right now, because if I told you, like I had my nephews over and we made pizza and chicken wings and we were watching football and Zeke said to me, Theo, have you watched Marvel, the latest Marvel? I said, no. What's going on? He goes, oh, what? And I'm like, okay, was it on Netflix? He goes, no. I watch them the first day when they come out at the theater. And I thought, man, that's great devotion. That's great devotion. Do you ever remember standing, anybody here alive when Star Wars came out? Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you so much for giving me some support out there. Joker stood in line for days, had tents to get ready to watch Star Wars. If you don't manage your night, your days and your mornings will be non-functional. And all I'm saying to you is, somebody say desire. You show your desire where your sacrifice is at. You got to get the real bread. Somebody say the real bread. Let me throw a jab to some of my family here. And this is love, you guys. This is really love. I got any hunters? Hunters. Thank you for the three of us. Amen. That hunt, right? You jokers get up before Jesus is up. Right? Jesus throwing on his robe and his chanclas, getting some hot coffee. Because in heaven it is 78 degrees every day, all day long. And you guys are out there like this. Negative 3,000 degrees. With a gun that's half frozen. Is there anything wrong with what you're doing? Absolutely not. I'm just being silly about competing priorities. What we will do for what we enjoy outweighs our devotion for real bread. Now, somebody say competing priorities. You guys, do you understand the term oxymoron? And I'm not talking about what you called your friends in school. Come on, some of us left out the oxy. Am I the only? Man, you're so holy. This is the holiest church I've been a part of. I know a few friends I still call them. All right. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of an oxymoron. Jumbo shrimp. Is it jumbo or is it a shrimp? Somebody say jumbo shrimp. He is clearly confused. Are you clear? Or are you confused? Because you can't have clarity and confusion. It's an oxy. Ta loco. Have you ever heard this one? Deafening silence. It's an oxymoron. Because you can't be deaf, right, or silent. Does that make sense? It's either you're hearing something that's so loud that's making you silent. What are you talking about? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Are you ready? Put your seatbelt on. There is no such thing as competing priorities. It's an oxymoron. I got your attention yet? Competing priorities are an oxymoron. Let me help you out. I want to let you know why the bread we are eating in the church today is not sustaining mothers, it's not sustaining fathers, it's not sustaining marriages, it's not sustaining children. We're divorcing at the same rate. We have drug addiction at the same rate. We have hypocrisy at the same rate. The problem is not the church. The problem is not the preacher. The problem is we're eating the wrong bread. All right. Before the 20th century, priority was never a plural concept. The word priorities didn't come into existence until after the 20th century. Only later did modern management and corporate structures begin a language using priorities in the plural, watch this, largely to soften decision making and avoid naming what actually comes first. As long as I can avoid a single priority, I don't have to claim what really matters in my life. No? The phrase competing priorities only still survives because it's emotionally convenient. You tracking with me? Nothing. Well, if something is truly a priority, it is already ranked first. It doesn't compete. Everything else, how many things? Everything else is submitted and subordinate to a priority. I'll give you an example. Anybody here mind dying for a good cause? I think if your family was in jeopardy and you could defend them and it may cost you your life, you would probably do that. Because you wouldn't mind dying for the right cause. But if you don't like your life and you're trying to take me out with you, there doesn't even need to be a conversation, Chris. Oh, you want to kill me? Well, what's your motive? Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. I see you're traumatized. You didn't have a good life. I have a good life, so you must hate my life. Well, yeah, it makes sense. Go ahead and so that everybody can be happy. No, I have a priority. My priority is living. And if you're going to die, did you ever get out of the car and go, I'm not getting back in the car with them? My kids tried it, but I locked them in. If you get out of the car, it's because you're afraid of your life. You don't need a conversation about it because you've already declared. Some say already declared. Already declared. Language. Again, I'm trying to get to you about the bread. Somebody say the bread. When it comes to reading your Bible on a daily basis, what is your language? Your language is revealing your priority. Pastor Eli, I don't know. My understanding level isn't that high. Okay, work on your understanding level. Does that make sense? Pastor Eli, I don't understand. Get with somebody who can help you understand. If you can't make tamales, stop jacking up the meal. Hang around somebody who can make tamales. You follow what I'm saying? And so, when priorities are plural, watch this, decision-making weakens, responsibility diffuses, and convictions soften. I need you to understand why it is that you find yourself in the conundrum of, I want to be better, I know I should be doing this, but I don't do it. You have priorities that have become plural because you've not had the opportunity or the ability to define the priority. Somebody say the priority. When the priority is singular, clarity emerges. Sacrifice becomes logical and action becomes consistent. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. Old Testament, chapter 27 of the book of Psalms. David is fighting for his life. He's got so many political enemies. He's got all this great history and yet tattered history. He's absolutely wondering, God, what does life even matter? And he comes to this conclusion. One thing have I desired, and this one thing will I live after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. Then Paul would say in Philippians chapter 4, this one thing I do, I forget everything that's gone behind me, and I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Jesus. You're not confused, you don't have your priorities right. You're not weak, you don't have your priorities right. God is not dead, the church is not eating the bread of life. How could we be married and not be in their presence? You tracking with me? Try getting married and living in a different dwelling. I have this thing, James, right here, called wedding ring. And I wear it leaving the house so my wife can see it. But when I leave the house, I take it off. You're more worried about me than you are thinking about what I'm saying about you. Look at your neighbor and say, he's talking about you, not me. Not me. How is Jesus in your life? Do you wear him in the house? And then when you get out of the house, you take him off? I don't want to offend anybody at work. Everybody around you is in darkness and needing the light that you have, and you want to take it off? How many of you have ever recommended a bad eating spot to a friend? The food was terrible. You know what, Javi? You need to go try it. That's not, if a friend does that to you, that's an enemy. A friend would go, yo, don't go there. That food was terrible. And I'm saying to you, when you have good bread, you want everybody to eat that bread. Pastor Eli, I just need you to preach more anointed. No, you need bread, baby. I don't know. Did you hear how the worship just cut off and all of a sudden, does that bother you? In heaven, there's not going to be any screens. In heaven, we're not even going to have keyboards. I'm trying to understand that, how we're going to worship. I don't know. No screens, no key. Nobody's putting words up. How is it that you know every lyric to the Beatles song? No. Okay, some of you are R&B. Okay, some of you are like, okay, I get you. Every rap song you buy, and you don't even be censoring the cuss words. Pastor, that's just my jam. I grew up on that. All I'm saying to you is simply this. Is it taking you to the presence of God? Is it taking you out of the presence of God? It is so important that you and I stop blaming others for the lack of our spiritual progress. Well, Pastor Eli, I got church hurt. I don't know anybody who's been in church for any length of time that doesn't get church hurt. Are you hearing what I'm saying? How do you get over church hurt? Well, you take 7 courses of therapeutical scriptural counseling from an atheist that was a Christian to help you move through the social, emotional, and pain that you experience. Or you can just eat the real bread. Or you can just get a bite of the bread that Lazarus received when he was 4 days dead and in the tomb. You can get a piece of the bread where the man with the withered hand heard the word when the bread of life came. Or you can get a hold of the bread that still makes the sun rise in the morning and the moon set at night. Or you can get a hold of the man that said, I am, I will be, and I will forever. I was, I am, and I forever will be. Man, we got it all twisted. I'm not trying to get mad at anybody today. I'm just looking at the anemic church and going, why can't we endure anything? Why are we always offended? Why are we always hurt? Because you're anemic. And weak people can't carry a lot. Somebody say, hurry up, Pastor. Oh, man. Try not to step on my dress here. Whatever. Oh, man, don't. Love, come over here, please. Yeah, right here. Iris, come over here. Stand right here. This is the woman that almost 30 years ago I asked to marry me. Right? Have you ever said yes to a man? Shut up, Juve. Oh my God, where is Sarah when you need her? Jimmy, put this guy in a chokehold, will you? So, if you can't have fun at church, you're in the wrong church, man. You're just in the wrong church. So this is the woman, like you, have committed to your wife as your priority. If you see somebody at work who may have the 5 or 10% that you're no longer seeing in your wife, and she becomes an option, she's not the problem. The problem is you're no longer making her the priority. Because where a priority is established, there is no competition. So, oh man, lock the doors, Hav. Just lock them all. So if instead of reading your Bible, you're on social media, your Bible's not a priority. Instead of praying, if you're watching TV, then prayer is not your priority. Oh, man. Look, if you talk to people like us who are old, and you ask us how our family is, we have one or two answers. Oh, they're great, which means don't ask me any more questions. Or you talk to those who are honest and go, man, this is not how I saw my family. This is not my intention. And I'm going to say to you, listen to me. You got caught up in an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron to think that entertaining your kids is more important than spiritually educating your kids. You follow what I'm saying? No, don't hear what I'm, look, I saw Vanessa here this morning. Vanessa was in a tournament this weekend. She was playing in the tournament, and then she's here today serving in the house. I don't know how old is she, 15? 15. There shouldn't be any competition in your children's lives. When you allow competition to the priority, you're creating confusion in their life. And you need to recognize it in your own so that you can see it in your children. Are you tracking with me? Yeah. Lee, how many disciples were there? Educate me. 12. How many disciples were with Jesus on the day he was betrayed? 11. 11, because the one was doing business. Right? Out of the 11, how many went with him to the garden? Why did Jesus not take all 11? And if you were one of the 11, what would you have said to Jesus? Oh, excuse me, my name's not Peter. I was not in the in crowd. You didn't invite. Oh, I must not be good enough for this church. Pastor didn't come and hang out with me. Do you want pastor to come and hang out with you, or do you want to be in his presence? See, a lot of people confuse church, right, with a social club. I'm not trying to go to your house, and I'm not trying to get you to my house. I'm trying to get us all into the inner room and into the presence of God. That's the priority. Well, I don't get to see you like Pastor Lee does. I don't get to see you like Hob does. Hob sees me here when he's volunteering. I'm not going to allow, Ray, I'm not going to allow myself to get in the way of your connection with God. If I get the privilege of visiting you, like right now, I heard that one of our leads for the actor, she's putting on the show for the kids. I heard Friday that she was in the hospital. This morning, I'm checking up on her. How is she doing? What's the latest? What's going on? I can do what I can do, Jew, but I'm not Jesus. So our priority, somebody say our priority, has to be that Jesus is first in our life. So when I say to you that Jesus is first and the priority, it helps you see language. It exposes false language. It forces decision clarity. It cannot be dismissed without self-examination. And Matthew 6:33 says this, seek ye. You know what he could have said? Hey, just when you get available, give me a buzz. Hey, when you're low and life is tough. No. He said, seek me. You tracking with me? God is interested in priority. When he becomes the priority, your life becomes clear. Make sense? I don't destroy the church. I build it up. My role in my wife's life is not to destroy her, it's to build her up. Her role in my life is not to destroy me, it's to build me up. Some of you have no concept of what a healthy family is because you look at two parents who didn't have a connection with God, or even worse, two parents who came to church and still never had a connection with God. Man, this is a quiet message. Shall we sing to make you happy again? What if, Teresa, what if when we go to heaven and we're in line and we hear somebody hear the words, hey, I never knew you. And we hear them say things like, but I volunteered. I was the lead actor in the play, Jesus, that was me. I've been in the media, I've been in the parking lot, I've been where every saint gets sanctified in the CP Kids ministry. And Jesus is going to look and say, yeah, but I was never your priority. You never made me first. And because you didn't make me first, I didn't make time to write your name. People don't like this kind of preaching, Tony, but it's in the book. One day we're going to stand before the Lord, and you're not going to answer for how many scriptures you memorized, and you're not going to answer for how many great philanthropy things that you did. Thank God for the turkeys we're giving away. Thank God for the clothes we're giving away. Thank God for our generosity. Thank God for all of that. I'm just going to ask you, in rank, where is Jesus in your life? Well, I serve Jesus as long as my husband is good, as long as my wife is good. Hey, listen to me. If Jesus is not first in your life, all this other stuff is going to distract you. Make sense? Early on, Teresa and I had different upbringings. Come on, Jericho, come play, make people feel like I'm ending this message. I'm not even going to get to point number 2. My mom and dad, we were poor folks. You know, growing up, we loved Jesus, but financially, we were poor. But mom always found a way to buy meat on sale. So all my life, we ate ground beef and chicken. To the point when I got married, my wife, I'm like, don't you bring ground beef into this house. I forbid it. She's like, I love ground beef. No, you don't. One of the other things that my mom did, was she always prepared extra food on Sunday because she knew somebody was going to come to the house. That became a level of contention in our home because that was not how my wife was raised. And she's like, why do you always got to do that? I'm like, because that's how I was raised. It's not a competition of food for me. if you can come and be in relationship and fellowship and be in my presence. Sometimes we didn't even say nothing. You know, Pastor Lee, right now, how many of you got Christmas family coming over for Christmas and friends and all that stuff? Are you making plans? Like, we got to play these games where you put a little tissue box in the back hip and you're trying to get ping pongs out of you. And then we got this game, and then we got that game, and the games are fun. But what happened to being in each other's presence? How was your year? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. How is your year? Hey, it's Christmas, and everybody knows America's team is playing. So let's hit the pause button and let's watch football. Watch football. Is it competing with the presence? Watch basketball, because I know basketball's starting for Christmas too. Watch it. Watch the Macy's parade. Some of you you don't like sports, but you're like, my daughter just hates football. Dad, football again? Yeah. This Christmas, why don't you just hit a pause? How many got DVRs? Is that still a word, DVR? What's that? You know, I got this. My wife she got me YouTube TV. So YouTube TV, I could go back and watch all the games, and sometimes I could just watch all the highlights. It's amazing, right? You know what you can't get? The highlight you didn't make when your kids were with you. You can't get back the highlights you didn't make with your wife. Our world is changing. My kids are getting bigger. I'm trying to create more highlights here, because the last 30 years of my life, them jokers dominated everything. I look forward to them coming home and us being in each other's presence. I don't need big explanations. Just tell me how your day was. Tell me how your year was. Tell me what you loved. I just got to say this to you, man. Every morning, Jesus sits at your table. He doesn't need anything fancy. He just wants you to sit down, tell him how your day was. Tell him what you're expecting. Pastor Eli, he never talks back to me. Oh, he will. You just got to learn to hear him. That comes with time. Right? How many of you wives understand your husband's grunts now? Men, we don't even need to articulate. Oh, I got it, baby. I'll be right back. My wife doesn't communicate either. She just looks. Yes, baby. Got it. I'm on it right now. Today, you processed what I shared with you through the vehicle of your past experience. Many of you said today, Pastor Eli, that was cool. I get it. Thanks for the revelation. I understand. Competing priorities. God is the real bread. And yet here you sit, existing through life, treating this message like it's something you already knew. When Jesus said, if you knew who was before you, you would take this drink and never thirst again. If you understood what I'm breaking in front of you, you would eat and never hunger again. This Christmas, I'm preaching a message that has nothing to do with a baby in a manger, but has everything to do with a Savior who wants to be in your world. And he's just waiting for you and me. Come on, let's stand to our feet.